this video, what I'm going to show you is how to do a scatter plot. And we generally use a scatter plot when we're trying to see if there is a correlation between two different variables. So say, for example, we have some plants and we want to determine if there is a correlation between the length of a branch and how wide or what the diameter is of that branch itself. So here I have my two variables, my shoot length, so the length of that branch, and the girth, so the width of that branch. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of my data and highlight it, go to Insert, and here I'm going to do a scatter plot, and a scatter plot without a line, because I'm not saying that these 2 points, these two variables are correlated. I want to know if they are. So I can't put a connector line between the dots because there may not be one. All right, so when I graph it here, now I have my graph. I'm going to fix up and make it look like it should. So get rid of the title, and then I'm going to add in my axis titles, so both my horizontal and my vertical. Okay. So on the y-axis, what I'm trying to do is predict the girth based on the length. Right? So because I'm trying to predict this one, this is going to be the shoot girth. Let's put that in centimeters. And then down here, this is the shoot length, also in centimeters. Okay, so it looks like there's a fairly good pattern there, but I want to be able to get a little bit more information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit a line. Okay, so if you click on the data and right click, or if you have a newer version, that little plus pops up over here, I am going to add a trend line. Okay. And when this window pops up, I have the option of different kinds of trend lines, but obviously this looks like a linear pattern, so I'm going to stick with linear. But keep in mind, if your data looks like it's maybe exponential and curving or logarithmic, you can choose a different one to see how well the data fits together. Okay, so I've put in my trend line. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to display an equation and also an r-squared value. So with the r-squared value, it ranges between 0 and 1. And it tells you the strength of the relationship. So if the r-squared is 0, that means that there is no correlation between your two variables. If it's 1, it's a perfect correlation. So for every increase in one, you get an increase in the other. So somewhere in between is generally where things are going to fall, but the closer it is to 1, the stronger the relationship. The equation here, what it's going to tell you is now I have an equation for that relationship. So if I go out and measure the shoot length, any shoot on any tree, if it's the same pattern holds, then I should be able to predict what the girth is based on this equation. So I would just take in whatever my length that I measure and insert it here into the x, and that will give me my y value, which is my shoot girth. So when you're looking for correlations between two different variables, this is the type of graph that you would do.